I recently watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This is a Dracula in the open ocean movie. And I've been hearing pretty good things about this. And so I figured, you know what? I had a free afternoon. Let's give it a shot. Though I am surprised that this horror movie was released in August. I think this movie would be doing better if it was released later in the fall, maybe closer to Halloween. Yeah, this is a Dracula on a boat movie. This is based on the single chapter from Bram Stoker's classic novel Dracula. The Last Voyage of the Demeter tells the terrifying story of the merchant ship that was chartered to carry private cargo. Strange events befall the doomed crew as they attempt to survive the ocean voyage, stalked each night by a merciless presence on board. When the Demeter finally arrives off the shores of England, it is charred, no trace of the crew or of Dracula.
Oh my gosh. The spoiler alert, they're doomed.
Yeah, so I will say that the opening scene, there's text, and it pretty much says like the Demeter was found shipwrecked off the coast of England, and the crew was missing, and we only know what happened from the captain's log, and I was like, okay, though that's a bummer. So like, does the whole crew die? And now why am I watching this movie? I guess I'm watching it just to find out how they died. But I was initially irked the first minute this movie started, but I was like, you know what, James, sit back, just let's see how this unfolds, and then we'll see where it takes us. Still knowing that, I will say that it's a good movie. When it comes to Dracula movies, there have been a plethora made, many that never made the big screen, and many that did but bombed at the box office. This one, however, I think it deserves a watch inside the movie theater. We have a great cast starring Corey Hawkins. There's also David Dastmalchian, Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones. I will say that this movie is very beautiful. They actually built 1.5 ships for the filming of this. One for the big faraway scenes of like it splashing in the ocean, and then also they had half a ship for different angles and whatnot, and then they filmed the interior shots in Berlin. But I thought that this looked very, very good. You feel like you are on an actual ship, and all the characters are able to feel real because they're moving around and operating the ship as if it is real, because it practically is. For this movie, I would say buy a movie ticket. It's fun, though I would say I think it would do better during Halloween time, closer to that spooky area than right now, because it's not doing so great at the box office. There are not many movies where at the end of the movie you're like, you know what, I want to see a sequel. I want to see this continue. I want to see this pick up right where it leaves off. This movie, it has an excellent, I wouldn't call it a straight out cliffhanger, but it makes you want to be like, I want to watch that movie. I want to see this story with this character progress.
Okay.
The Last Voyage of the Demeter, out in theaters right now. It is a recommendation for myself.
Well, maybe they can produce the next chapter of that book into the next
hope so,
movie.
Yeah.